A few weeks ago, I was preparing for inspirational speech, and I thought to myself, what can I say to this group of intelligent and well-educated people to sound inspiring, but not to sound like a cliché? And then an interesting thing happened. My niece just got her first phone, and she was sending texts to people, and she sent me one sounding more or less like this. "Hey, what's up?" So I replied to her, "Hey, what's up? You're back from school already? What are your plans for the evening?" And she replied to me, "I don't know." So I replied her back saying, it's gonna be a really boring evening if you don't know. What you gonna do?" And she said, "I don't know." So I replied to her back saying, "Well, there has to be something you can do." And she replied, "Well, maybe I'm gonna watch something on my computer." So I replied to her back saying, "Brilliant, anything specific?" And she replied, "I don't know" again. And then it struck me that when we're with a group of our friends having fun from this or that, everything seems cool and great. But everything changes when we get home, we close the door behind us, and then we face the reality. Then we know how often do we feel like my niece, having no clue what we're gonna do. Then we know how many times our life seems meaningless, and how many times we just simply feel lonely. And only you will know that because only you see yourself without the mask on, am I right? So then I thought, just go with the flow. And I told them, as I'll tell you right now, the two things that make me happy and two things that make me hungry for life. First, you need a target. You need a goal. You need something in front of you to achieve. If you've got, your life plan for the next 2 years, you're covered. But if you don't, I've got a small tip for you. Go home tonight, close the door behind you, take a piece of paper and a pen, and write down everything which is interesting to you, even remotely. And then pick 3 of those and just do them as soon as possible. Maybe you always thought about going to this fancy restaurant, just go there this week. If you always thought about learning how to play guitar or trumpet, just sign up for a local school. Do it for a month. Maybe you'll stay there for a week, maybe you'll stay there for 10 years, you never know until you try it. Maybe you always thought about going to Australia or Argentina. Just find someone who've been there already. Check your costs and just go there. And you may ask, but why would that be important? And I would say to you, it's not about experience itself, but observing yourself while you experience these things. Because the time will pass and finally you'll get to the core of yourself and understand who you really are, what you're doing here. What do you want to achieve and who do you want to become? And you will need for that experience and time. So I encourage you, experience life to understand who you really are. And second point that I want to talk about will help you in all that process immensely. It's basically to have someone to enjoy this journey with. And I won't go to how to build a relationship subject because it will take me hours, not minutes that I have. But there's one really fascinating thing I found about long-lasting relationships. One thing that they have in common that keeps them together. It's not that they're together. It's not that they have kids together. It's not that they have even mortgage together. It's not even that they're lovers. Not at all. First and foremost, all of them are really, really, really good friends. So besides just experiencing life to understand who you really are, I want to inspire you to have courage to start new friendships and to take care for those that you already have. If you see someone interesting, someone intriguing, just go and talk to them. Ask them if they have 5 minutes for coffee. Maybe the whole thing will last 1 minute, maybe 1 lifetime. You never know. If you've got relationships that are already there, invest in them. Invite people over. Call them, talk to them. Because you've got to understand, not even distance separates people, but silence does. So, experience life to understand who you are and have courage to start new friendships, to have people to enjoy this journey with. But if you look close enough, life is built so it complements each other. So if you start experiencing life, after some time you'll find something that really interests you. And you won't spend more time with it than just, testing period. And if you start doing it, then you will see that along the way, people will show up. Being on the same journey, having the same mindset, looking for the same things, having the same hunger for life. And this group of people would be the best to test your ability to start new friendships. Because, believe me or not, in this group there will be someone that you want to spend your life with. Because isn't it all about to have someone that I really care about? Someone that I feel really comfortable with? That I don't need to wear my mask when they're around? Someone that have the same goals and the same mindset as I have. So you may say, okay, brilliant, this is what I want. What can I do? Or what can I understand before going and doing this exercise tonight to be on that boat? Well, I would say it's everything in your head. As Earl Nightingale says, everything starts with an idea. And in this particular case, it's your own idea about yourself. This is the story that you tell to yourself about yourself every day. You need to change it all to be more inspirational, more fascinating for you. Tony Robbins said once, you're not a manager of your life, you're a creator of it. And I would say you're not a victim of your life, you're an architect. I want you to thrive, not just survive, as Switchfoot sings in one of their songs. And basically at the end of the day, I want you to be able to go home, close the door behind you, take off your happy mask, and look into the mirror, look into your own very eyes, and maybe first time in months, see hope there. Because if what I'm saying is true, then everything what it is to experience is there for you. And every relationship is just for you to have courage to reach for it. It's there for you. So I want you to be able to take a deep breath, look at yourself and see this hunger for life building up in you. Look at yourself from head to toe and say, well, in this case, let's play.